What up, nation? We're live on a Sunday with another esports stream. Fun slate yesterday. Didn't go exactly as planned for me. Gov, how'd you do with it?
Yeah, it did all right. We had all the right stacks, just not the right team combinations. I think that's going to happen from time to time, but it's the way it goes sometimes. I think it's good that we have another slate today. We can get back after it.
Yeah, we had all the right calls and everything. Like I was super high on TSM, and that worked out well for me. But not TSM, sorry, 100 Thieves, and that worked out really well for me. Like the team scored 27 points, but I had a lot of like someday captain and like shit like that. So like didn't have a Rioma or like bang, then kind of were already screwed out there. Like you said, there's today. So how do you want to take? Do you want to talk about stacks a little bit first and teams, and then go into position by position to get really into our plays? Or
it's up to you. We can go like game by game or stacks. It doesn't matter.
Let's go game by. Let's go first a little bit in general about teams here. What are you trying to do? Like any teams you're trying to attack, you say you like them a lot. Before we really go into positions and everything too. Any strong stances, teams you like? Any surprises so far we've seen on the split?
I think like the most even slate we've seen all season. Like 1, 2. There's like 3 or there's probably all 4 games, or except for the C9 game, are pretty like even. I would say. Like TL, like if TL had Brox as their jungler, then I would say TL would blow out FlyQuest, but FlyQuest has played pretty well.
They played amazing
the first weekend. Yeah, so it's probably like the best slate in terms of game season. So kind of interesting to see how it goes. I think it's important to like for your team slot. Like I think a game like EG is gonna last like 45 minutes or so. So like dragons and barons. So that's kind of important to keep in mind when you're making your team slot because you want the most points out of them. Obviously, I think that neither of them can really end the game very quickly. So it'll be to have a team slot that scores a lot of points. Just today in general.
Yeah, so I said to you before, like I like the slate a lot today, and the reason I'm really saying that is because for the most, or at least so far, weakest teams we have in the split so far are head-to-head with each other, like EG, TSM, and then Immortals, Golden Guardians. No big favorites between them. High kill totals between them, like the Immortal GG sitting at 22.5, same with TSM EG 21.5, and projected it to be a close game. So like both games can shoot out. Every player on both teams are fairly cheap at least. And so I like mixing them around because like you could really play, like I said to you before, like I love Golden Guardians. You could really stack them up for cheap and get C9 too and have high kill potential there. So we're gonna go into the position by position now. Top lane. Top lane was a position I didn't really love today. Love to hear your thoughts so far. What do you like for top?
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna like Broken Blade, even though I know you said you didn't like TSM. I just don't think that Kumo was a good laner. He like stole like 5 kills yesterday from Svenskeren, and it was really tilting me because I had Svenskeren captain in like two lineups, but he had 7 kills yesterday, which like he did not deserve like 5 of them. He was just stealing them he was lasting them as Aatrox, which didn't make any sense to me. But he's like one of the worst lane in the league. I think that Broken Blade is like one of the most mechanically skilled champions or players in the league. Another person I'm looking at is Hanser. They kind of play him all the time. Like he was one of the reasons that they won yesterday. He was like a 1v3 in the split push with Fiora. Like he's really strong in that split push role. He didn't have like many points yesterday because he didn't have any kill participation really. But I think that he can do a little bit of damage, especially against IM2. So as is not very good. I think he's like leading the league in deaths.
It's a big drafting for me. Like so far, it looks like when he plays carry champs, like the Fiora and Aatrox, like he didn't play so well at. But if he gets like Golden Guardians, kind of focused around like playing off Golden Glue and FBI. So like when he was on like a kind of a late game, like more of a support champ, like Ornn at the time, That worked out really well for him,
Yeah.
so they could still play through Golden Glue and FBI, and like he just racked up a ton of assists and everything. Didn't really die much, so that was nice. So if we can get Haunter to play one of those like kind of utility champs, and I like stacking like Haunter, Golden Glue, and like FBI together.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of FBI, but I mean, anything's viable. I really like Closer. I think Closer's really pretty cheap, and he gets a lot of. He seems pretty aggressive. But yeah, I see what you're saying about like if they get Concert like in a team fight top laner, then he's more apt to get points. I definitely agree with that. But I think that he can definitely get solo kills here, and I think that is not good at all. Like he looked really bad against C9. I just think that Hunter could take advantage of that potentially. But there's not really that many good top laners. If you want to take a flyer on like Viper or something, I would, or Licorice, but he's kind of expensive. So yeah, I think I would probably stick with like Haunter and Broken Blade. That would be my two plays from the top lane.
Now, two guys we looked at a lot so far early on. We're both super cheap too, but both in the most difficult matchups on the slate. Viper and Someday. You gonna have any exposure to them? Liquid and C9 obviously aren't the most friendly matches for opponents, but at super cheap price tags, you gonna play them at all and hope for any kind of upset?
I think I'd be more apt to play Viper over Someday. I think that FlyQuest has a lot better chance to beat TL than 100 Thieves does to beat C9. And then on top of that, FlyQuest is going to beat Team Liquid. Viper's going to be a huge part of that. So I wouldn't blame you for playing one of them. They're really cheap, as you were saying, but I probably would stay away if I was going to make less than 4 lineups. Probably stay away from them.
All right. Did you mention Kumo? Do you like Kumo at all in like an EG stack?
I don't like Kumo. I maybe it's just a personal bias for me, but like I don't know. He had a good game yesterday, but I'd rather go somewhere else and let other people try to chase that than me try to chase him because he's not really that good in my opinion.
It's tough for me because like he's been playing like in the weaker matchups, like against like GG and 100Ds, like he played decent, and then like of course against Dig, who's been super hot, like they got shit on, so he played bad. Like in a weaker matchup against, like, it's crazy we're saying weaker matchup against TSM, but TSM looks super ugly right now. So like for cheap, I don't mind playing Kumo. I said to you before, like EG is kind of one of those stacks I'm gonna be playing together to play like a lot of C9, so I don't mind Kumo for cheap. Jungle, what are you doing here?
Yeah, so obviously if you can spend up, I would like Blabber. He's kind of been pretty solid the last first. Definitely if you can fit in a C9 stack, that'd be ideal today. He's got like the 40-point upside where you can just break a slate if you don't have him. I kind of like the range of like Dardock, Smithy, Svenskeren. I think that all three of those, or I wouldn't play Smithy, but like and Closer. Sorry, I forgot to include Closer. Dardock, Svenskeren would be my 3 favorites. Just looking at this right now, I really think that if TSM's gonna win, they need to be more like proactive, and I think that proactivity is going to be like, at least that's what I would do. I would just gank Kumo over and over and over again, and he seems to die a lot. So that's what I would do. So I'm pretty inclined. I think that'd be pretty solid. Closer, as I was saying before, I really like his style. He kind of came over from the Turkish league, and he's kind of played pretty well. I mean, he doesn't put up huge numbers. He's like around the kills, so that's what I like to see. I like to see him have a kill participation, and yeah. So I think that I would stick on like Dardock, Closer, Svenskeren, maybe Blabber if I could fit him, but I'd probably stick with those 4.
Yeah, I'm on the same board as you. I think there's like a lot shorter pool you want to play here, and I like you said Closer, super volatile, but Kind of mentioned before, like, Golden Guardians has actually one of the highest projected kills on the slate, like 14 right now. That's right below like C9 and Fly, and they're super cheap and a decent matchup. So when a game that can shoot out with that high kill projection, then that's from Vegas. That's not even from myself. Then definitely like them a lot. We're gonna go into mid, but before we go into mid, if you're watching, please drop us a like. Definitely helps and goes a long way. Trying to get the ball rolling with esports a little bit. So throwing us some like definitely helps us on that path. Yeah, mid. See a lot of expensive names here. Bjergsen, Niski, of course. Golden Glue I like a lot too. Ryoma here. A lot of appealing names in the slate for mid. What do you do with mid?
Yeah, so obviously Niski, if you can afford him, I would definitely think about going there. He's one of the main parts of the C9 roster. He didn't really have that good of a game yesterday, but he always has like 45-point upside. He's just that good a player. He's really explosive. If he gets fed, he kind of just takes over games by himself. Bjergsen against Jizuke is pretty interesting. I know that TSM's had a really slow start to the season, but I just think that team has too much talent. They're just going to keep losing. I think that they had to fix some things maybe the first week, and I think they're going to be low owned, and I kind of want to get them. I kind of want to be on them before everyone else. So TSM and Bjergsen. I think that Golden Glue might be my favorite mid laner, honestly.
Me too.
He's way too cheap. I don't know why because 7 full time, that makes zero sense to me. They play around him more so than FBI, in my opinion. I don't think FBI is very good. Especially he's good, but I more don't like Keith than anything. I think that he's not very good. But going back to mid laners, yeah. So I like the closer Golden Glue stack. I think that'd be a pretty cool stack, and maybe low owned. I'm not sure who's gonna be chalky on the slate. But yeah, I think that Golden Glue would be my number one, then Niski, and then Bjergsen probably right now.
Yeah, I'm on board with you too. Niski and Golden Glue by far my favorites. Like I said before, GG plays through Niski completely. He plays like high kill potential champs like Syndra. We saw LeBlanc. He plays
LeBlanc, yeah.
High kill potential champs. So that's always nice, and he's a lot cheaper than like Niski and Bjergsen. So I love Golden Glue today. ADC, going into bot lanes a little bit. Starts off here because I'm curious what you're going to be doing between like ADC and support. It's where I'm struggling a little bit. I'm trying to get a lot of C9 in there, like Sven and Vulcan, but what are you doing here?
See, this is where I go kind of like a completely different path, and I really like Double Lift Core JJ. I think that FlyQuest, like Wild Turd, has come in a lot. He's died 3 times in each of his first 2 games, which is pretty decent amount. I think that Double Lift and Core JJ are going to turn a corner here, and they're going to put up some big numbers. I think that'd be a good one to be on. They're really expensive though, so I don't know. We'll see. I think that let's see. Obviously, Sven had a huge game yesterday. If you can fit him, by all means, try to get him in. He's had a really. Let's see. Kabe, another one you can look at. He's on TSM. He's kind of like their late game carry. If you think that he's probably going to do most of the damage, I'm not sure I would play or I would think about FBI. I'm just worried about Keith because what
makes you keep saying
he has not looked good.
So you're more worried about Keith than FBI?
Yeah,
you think FBI is fine, but you just don't like Keith?
Yeah, he negative points a lot. He's a role swap from ADC. He just doesn't look good on support champions. Doesn't look comfortable on support champions. So I think that's gonna be if Keith keeps dying, then they can't. I don't know. I wouldn't blame you for playing FBI. I think he's probably a pretty good play, but I just don't. I'd rather find another stack that has more correlation. Because I wouldn't play Keith. I wouldn't touch Keith.
Yeah, FBI for me it was
Yeah,
just
but
because, like I said, the Golden Guardians has like that 14 kill projection right now. And that's a lot higher compared to other cheaper teams on like well, teams in that price range or so. It's only like 4 kills behind C9, 3 kills behind Liquid, and for a cheap price tag, he's been playing pretty great. Like I said, Keith's just been dying a fuck ton, which kind of like held him back from having huge games. But like, if Keith can just like not die, and I think Golden Guardians has like really big upside here. Double lift or Kabe? Did you say would you prefer?
I think that if you could play him, I'd prefer double lift.
Double lift. All
Just
right.
because I think that I don't know. TL looked better yesterday. I don't know. I just think that like eventually like that's the best bot lane in the league. Like although they lost to Dig, like they did like it was more back and forth than I thought it was gonna be, and they did play like decently. I think that like they're like bound like playing a lot of averages. They're just bound to score have a big game. I think that like they need to turn the. I think that they're gonna put more emphasis on the bot lane because Jensen's kind of been up and down. Impact's just kind of like a rock in the top lane. He just doesn't die. Doesn't really go off. So I think that if they're gonna win, like if I were double lift, I'd be like demanding like jungle attention, and I'd be like. Yeah, like if like in a team meeting, I'd be like telling the coach like, no, you need the jungler to come to me because I need to carry this game. So like, I think that they really can't lose any more games if they want like first place. I think that Cloud9's going to run away with it if they lose 3 games in the first 2 weekends. I think that's going to be tough to come back from. I think that I think that TL is going to win. So I would definitely stick with Core JJ and double lift. I think that'd be a pretty sharp play.
Yeah, I definitely think we see a different Liquid teams today too. Like they played great. They just got killed because they lost so many drags early because they had such a scaling comp with like Aatrox and Ryzen there. So like, yeah, I think like because they lost like the 5 dragons super early and everything, that we see them come out and play like maybe a little more hyper aggressive comp kind of early. Like maybe we see like an Elise or something like that. And like when you see champs like that, it means a lot of kills are coming and early too, which will help team snowball into obviously more team production, like not just a team. I'm saying like the actual like team position. So I think Liquid does like kind of bounce back here today too. Kind of hit on him already a little bit, but supports. What do you do with your sports? And before we actually go into players, I'm curious now that we're 5 slates in, I think 4 slates in.
Yeah, 5 technically. Yeah.
What do you always pair your ADC to support? What are you doing with like support correlation? Like, would you one off a support? Would you always pair with your ADC? Like, how do you really like correlate your lineups with your support here?
Yeah, so I like 95% of the time I play support with ADC. I think it's like one of the biggest correlation spots in lineups in league. I think that occasionally I'll do like a jungle mid support stack or maybe some other thing that like if I think the support's going to be like roaming around and getting kills and it's a viable strategy to pair the support with the jungler. But yeah, I'd say like over 95% of the time I'm definitely trying to stack the support with the ADC.
Yeah, I agree too. I also think support's a lot more like volatile, and like with the whole bot lane in general, I'm not like a lot less likely to play bot lanes against like that are a lot lower favorites. So I'm not really looking at like 100D's bot lane or like FlyQuest maybe because they've been playing hot. So if you want to get them super cheap, you can try to take a shot. But like FlyQuest and 100D's, like, I'm trying to stay away from their bot lanes for the most part. Who do you like though support? Like you said, we kind of pairs our ADCs, but go ahead here.
Yeah, so I think definitely looking at like Core JJ, Vulcan would be another one. Vulcan's been pretty hot. I think I would stay on the upper side of this. on this tier. I think that if you were going to play, look at in the early part of the season, but yeah, I think I would stick with like the first three, like Core JJ, Vulcan, and Biofrost. Maybe if you're playing EG, then play Zazel, but I think I'm going to stay with. I'm only going to make a couple lineups, but I think that TSM is going to get off the blocks here with a win.
All right. Agree there too. Like it's same thing as ADC. Like, I'm really hitting on favorite teams here. So like C9. Taking shots on like Golden Guardians, maybe some EG and TSM. Move on to the team. Team obviously kind of correlates your line a little bit too. But there are ways like 100 Thieves too. Like we saw, like obviously Bang and Ryoma went off yesterday, but like you can really play like a different team than that's part of your lineup because like they don't exactly correlate. What do you do with the teams here? Any teams that you think can go like low end of upside from like a losing squad or something like that? Like, what are you doing here?
So I definitely take a look at TSM and Evil Genius. I don't think that either of those teams are teams that are gonna end the game quickly. So like the more time they're on the map, the more points they're going to get. That's definitely something to look into. And then I think that Golden Guardians is another one that I like. I think that they win this game versus Immortals. Or it could even be the same scenario where it goes and there's just like 6 dragons total to both teams, a couple Barons. I just think that's where the points are. That's obviously where you score the most points, like Barons 3 points, Drags 2 points. So I think that definitely want to look at like time played. Like I usually do try to correlate it with my jungler or with the main stack on my team, but if you think a game's going to go longer, then that's where I go with the team slot because, like I was saying, there's more points on the map for a longer period of time.
Yeah, I like that too. And we've seen like TSM go into a lot of longer games so far. So like maybe TSM's fine. EG, like the EG side of it's fine. I definitely liked it a lot too. We're gonna round it out here. Before we go into like our top threes, favorite stacks, stuff like that. Again, if you're watching, please do us a huge favor. Give us a like in the video. It goes a long way for a little bit more of a niche sport like esports. We're trying to get the ball rolling here. Just throw us a like, please. We're gonna go into top. We'll go top twos for each position here. Start us off at jungle.
Start at jungle. All right. My top play would be Blabber, and then Closer, and then Dardoch. I think my top 3.
Jungle.
Oh, isn't that what we just did? Should I went top first? I guess. Yeah. Okay. Broken Blade, Haunter, and then I would take a shot on Viper, but Licorice definitely slots in there somewhere if you were so inclined to play him.
We'll jump over to mid now.
Yeah. So mid laners, Golden Glue first, and then Niski, and then Bjergsen.
ADC.
Double lift, Sven. And then kind of Kabe and FBI are kind of like tied for third, I think I would say.
I'm sure it's going to correlate here, but support.
Yeah, so Core JJ, Vulcan, Biofrost.
And last tier team.
I'm actually going to go Golden Guardians number 1, Cloud9 number 2, and let's see. And I'll go 2SM number 3.
Now, give us your 3 favorite kind of correlations. Obviously, you can jump around a little bit here, and there's nothing like clear cut for you to say this, but like you're playing a lot of like Humos, Svenskar, and Jizuke, or like Sven, Vulcan, Niski. Like, well, give us like 3 correlations you like a lot.
Okay, so
like mini stacks.
Do you want 3 mans or 2 man, or just any stacks? I'm like
any stacks, 2 mans, 3 mans.
Okay. So I like Closer Golden Glue. It's probably like my favorite stack right now. I think that if you can afford it, Blabbers Van Vulcan would be a good one. And then let's see. I like Dardoch Broken Blade Bjergsen. I think that's a pretty good stack. And then let's see. We see like OJJ, pretty good one. I guess you could play Svenskeren, Bang Zazel if you want to do that. That's fine. That's where I'm sticking right now. Nothing else really comes to mind.
I think it's really going to do it then. Like I said, it should be a fun slate. I like the value we have between like EG and GG. And then like C9 fits well with both of them, so it's going to be pretty fun. Again, last time I say it, please throw us a like for watching. Huge favor. There's a lot for us. Gove, close us out here.
Yeah, hopefully we can get a little better slate today. I think that we're doing pretty well as a site. We're kind of like on the right plays. We just got to get the right combos, and then the money's going to start to come in. So
the captain aspect was a huge like wrench into things. Like that makes everything so different, man. Like so I feel like every time I'm like, you take away the captain, I feel like I have like great lines between like every position, but like I just can't. And I think there's a lot of volatility to it in league. But like it's so hard to nail the right captain. I'm finding out too. Like I think you want to play a lot more of like I think I'll never really have a top laner in my captain. Mostly jungle mids, maybe like ADCs, but yeah, captain's been killing me so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely try to stay in that jungle or ADC. Occasionally, like if like yesterday, I think one of our members was asking for C9 in the captain because that was going to be such a huge game, and I actually think that's very viable in games like that where you think it's going to be one-sided. Like if they're going to control the dragons and the barons, and they're just going to control the map, then it's a pretty sharp play in my opinion to play a team slot as your captain, and then it does kind of drop if you can get like 45 out of your captain with a team slot. If they get around like 25 or so, you'll get like
100 Ds would give you around like 40 or so in captain last night.
Right. Yeah, so then you can basically put in whoever you want as your stack. So if you really like your lineup, then putting a team as your captain, I definitely would try to correlate it with the stack you're playing, but I think that in like very like niche cases, the team slot at captain can be really important, or it could be a really viable option too.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out myself too, because like with NBA showdowns, like there are some instances where you can go like a cheap captain and then like stack like if you're playing the Rockets, you can play like a dirt cheap value captain, and then you can play like Westbrook Harden, like another stood an opposing team together too to get all that like production there. So I was trying to figure out through these first like 4 or 5 slates or so, like if it's really valuable. But it's so hard to nail in league with the volatility. But I'm definitely sticking to jungle and mid captains, I think, for now.
Yeah, that's where I'm headed.
I think that's gonna do it. 3.5 hours to the lock. Good luck there. Any questions from the nation? Throw them in Slack. We'll be happy to answer them. Super Bowl Sunday too, so enjoy that. Hopefully the Chiefs win me some money. Should be a fun game to watch regardless. I think it shoots out. It's a good game. That's going to do it. Good luck, nation.
See ya.